right. I know. Welcome. Hello to you all. That was terrible. What kind of fade was that? Fade. Welcome into the Eric St. Show podcast from the Impact Powersports studio. Thank you so much for being here. It is, I tell you what, easy is cooked. I did yesterday, I was talking into this microphone it was approaching 6 hours of talk time. And I'm all about it. I mean, I had an absolute ball yesterday. Jesus, it really picked up in the late night. For me is late night. The nighttime shows on Patreon with Ben Glaze and the live audience. It was a Big Fraud Thursday where we did Who Are These Zanes? We went back to the Joe and the Poor Boy show. And, okay, what we covered on there was several pieces of material, questionable in nature, finable offenses. I had no idea how fucked up that show was. I had completely forgotten about that. At one point in the show, I actually said the word titties. Joe said, come in a guy's butt. There was, oh my God. It was ridiculous. And we had a hell of a time reviewing it, of the old Joe and the Poor Boy show, where we kind of figured out that, I don't know what it was, but everything I said was just so ridiculous and dripping with this dumb attitude that it wasn't necessarily funny. In fact, it wasn't funny in any way, shape, or form. It was just stupid. God damn. I hated me. The same way people hate me now, I hated me then. But back then, I was like, yeah, this is good. I'm good. Ugh. Fucking terrible. If I get to be like 80 years old and I'm still doing this podcast, will I look back at a day like today, December 15th, 2023, and just say, oh, you suck shit. You're such an asshole. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? Jesus. Welcome in. So glad you are here. And that took up our time yesterday in the evening for an extended day. Fitting the podcasting in was a monumental task because I had to make that morning appearance on the TV station on Fox 17 Morning News with Elliot and Janice. And I got done with that, and then I did this show, and I was, I'll tell you what, before I get into that, I'm already getting ahead of myself. Today's a big day because I'm supposed to go to Meijer to buy all of the food for the Great Food Giveaway. And we had 2 fantastic donations yesterday. I want to make sure I got all of this down appropriately. I'm writing my notes that I've been following along with on my little tote board on the back of a check that Rick from TC Paintball wrote me for marketing. We now have 48 people who have thrown money into the hat for the Great Food Giveaway. Now, I have said many times that I only want $1, $5, $10 from all of you. That's it. Nothing more. The idea being that with the numbers that follow the show, if everybody just drops a little bit into the hat, we will be dominating. And we have dominated, but the problem is, well, not problem, it's a good problem to have, is that most of the donations have been like larger. And we've gotten very few that are little. And I really want to encourage you to give me a small donation, even if you can afford a big one. A small donation of $1 or $5 or $10, whatever. Because of the numbers that we have. Most people won't do that because they're embarrassed that I'm going to see their name attached to $1 or $5. Well, it's completely anonymous. There's only a couple people that I've revealed. Like Ben Glaze yesterday dropped 50 in because he needs all the publicity he can get. Frankly, I was shocked at that. I think that the economy is turning around in a big way if Ben Glaze is dropping $50 into the hat. Must be all that big donut money, Darla. She's trying to get comfortable. Looks like she's humping O'Neill, who looks really annoyed right now. So, look, just keep that in mind. I shared the information with you on Twitch. And, of course, if you listen to the audio podcast later, the information is in the show notes about how you throw money into our hat for the Great Food Giveaway. Like I said, 48 of you. I look at how many people pay attention to this show. And it's not Joe Rogan. I know that. It's small. But there are still thousands of people every day who download the episodes. I look at it every day. Oh, okay, how many did we get today? Okay, that's great. It's kind of like what I have to do. So there you go. That's enough about that. I will say this. Ben Glaze yesterday, 50, and a nice person threw $200 into our hat and said, I'm proud of you for this. And it's like, you know, I appreciate that, but it's the least I could do. Are you serious? This is a group thing. I appreciate the sentiment, but it literally is something that we absolutely should do. Tis the season when you think about those less fortunate. So thank God for that. That $250 is now putting us at, I don't know. Okay, wait a minute. I can't even see. Do I got a pair of glasses here? I think I do. All right. We were at 4,909 and 21 cents. We're adding 250 to that. We've collected $5,159.21. The food, $3,083.80. That means we have $2,075.41 for tampons. That's fucking great. I am so impressed with you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next Thursday, Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. We get there at 2 to start setting up. The people are there by 3, lined up in their cars. We have the Grand Rapids Pit Bull Alliance there, which sounds like a superhero organization. They provide outreach and care for wayward animals, not just pit bulls, all animals, but that's the brand. They've been at it for quite some time. They will have free pet food. People pull up, you put the box of food in, which is the ham, the potatoes, the corn, the jar of gravy, the rolls, the pumpkin pie, into their car. If they need pet food, you put pet food in. If they need feminine products, Team Pink will pass them along. And off we go. Some nice lady reached out to me and said, I can't get out there. I don't have a car. Right now I'm sick with COVID. Can someone bring me the food? Of course. There's always one a year. I was thinking, I wonder if we do another event where we actually have, like, can you imagine in the Great Food Giveaway if we had all that food to give away and then we had a list of people who would take a delivery who like couldn't get out there, and we had a team of people who would drive out in an outreach, almost like Meals on Wheels type of deal. Amanda says she likes referring to the people who will be giving away feminine products as the period patrol. Hey, again, that's you. Whatever you guys decide. I'm part of Team Blue. I have nothing to do with Team Pink. But I did have that awkward conversation with this nice lady yesterday who called looking for some help. And I said, I need to know what type of these products do you want? She goes, I use pads. I don't know. She didn't sound like a truck driver. Sorry. I use pads. Okay, thanks. We'll bring you some pads. All right. So I'm stoked. Fired up. Feeling great. This again. It was, I was in Los Angeles for the kidney donation. Denny Porter is the guy. 2 months earlier, or 1 month earlier, he said, I want to give somebody a Thanksgiving meal. And it was like right at thing. I go, I don't know, Denny. I can't do it. He brought it up again for Christmas. It was early December because I gave the thing away on December 2nd, 2020. I talked about it on this show. And then you all talked about it here, like in the chat, and kind of got me, hey, yeah, we can do this, we can do that. And then Megan said, we can host it here. We can host it at Irvine's. And I'm like, well, all right, if you guys say so. So that's how it got going. I remember walking in the Westwood neighborhood of Los Angeles on UCLA's campus, talking with this guy, Josh, from Meyer, while recovering, because I had to stay there for like 8 days to make sure I was healthy enough to travel. And I'm walking around like hanging on to Diana's hand with one hand because I can barely fucking move. And then I'm holding onto my phone with the other hand, dodging homeless people about all of this. We had already started saving the money. That was Great Food Giveaway number 1. I couldn't lift anything over like 12 pounds at the time because it was only like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks after the kidney donation. And you all did it. It was awesome. Yesterday, I have the video from the Fox 17 thing. Let's see. Great food giveaway aiming to feed even more during its 4th year. Audio check. Video check. I've seen a screenshot of what I look like on TV from one of you on the Eric Zane Show podcast subreddit, and I look like a fucking asshole.
This time of year, the giving season, and for good reason. One way we like to donate is through food drives. So in the spirit of the holidays, a West Michigan podcaster is holding his annual Great Food Giveaway. So joining us in studio this morning, we've got Eric Zane.
Look at how fat. Stupid grin. It looks like I'm pushing out a turd. Wow, what a gross blimp.
So happy to have you. Saw you in the green room. The first thing I told you was, hey, your sweater is
Thank
perfect.
you. It's
so
festive.
We just got to make sure to show that off real quick. But it's not the sweater we're talking about today. You guys have such a cool event helping so many people out. So tell us a little bit about it.
I hate myself. This is goddamn torture.
Food giveaway. This is our 4th year. It started when an audience member, which most ideas on my show happen that way, say, hey, I want to give money for one.
Okay, so this is Eric Zaitunian here. And remember, we hate this guy. Eric Zane is me. I am not this dick.
Meal.
Yeah.
And then I mentioned it, and then another audience member said, why don't we pass the hat, you know? And with Venmo and things like that, you can very easily do that. Before long, we had all the money raised. And then one of my sponsors volunteered their location, and we had a drive-up food giveaway planned within
last
minutes.
year.
That's amazing. And
There's Linda. I'm next to her. This is right before I threw the snowball right into her car.
times are still tough for people, dealing with whatever layoffs, this pandemic still, affecting some people in one way or another. So it's just amazing that you guys are giving full meals away. How many people are you guys hoping to help out this year?
Well, 100 families. So we have in boxes ready to go a Christmas ham, rolls, corn, sack of potatoes, gravy, and a pumpkin pie. Wow. And people just drive up, the 100 people, they open the trunk, we put the food in there. The Grand Rapids Pit Bull Alliance, which helps all sorts of animals, they are there with a ton of pet food.
Okay, now I got this part down. This part is kind of like just rote. I can do this part in my sleep, all the details.
That in their car if they need it. We actually had an abundance of cash. We collected the money very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And then, so the extra money, we went, it was someone's idea to buy feminine products because a lot of people.
I think it was Megan's idea.
People struggle who are less fortunate to actually have those products.
Or Amanda's.
That's something that most people would take for granted. So we have hundreds of boxes of these, and that's our lady team is going to pass those out to people. The dudes will stay away. We don't want anybody uncomfortable or anything like that. But I mean, that's a very real thing, and some people struggle with that. So over at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, we're very excited to do it all there.
Okay, so now this has all been excellent Eric Zaitunian. I haven't said anything fucked up in any way. Eric Zaitunian has kept it above board. Anybody watching this thinks, what a sweet, wholesome guy. He's fantastic. Oh, this is so sweet. He's probably on the Christian podcast station or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, we just watched footage from last year or years prior, and we see how easy it is. You simply pull up, and there you go. You get your meal, you get your products, and you were saying even pet stuff, too, for people.
Yes.
If people are in need right now, or they say, hey, this, I know someone that might be wanting to pull up next Thursday, where can they go and how can they do it?
Well, that's fantastic because that's been our biggest challenge is getting the word out. When the event starts at 3 p.m. on Thursday, there is a line of cars, 10 strong, but then it, thins out.
Sure.
So the point of being here, and thank God you're having us, it's so kind, is to spread the word.
It's so kind. That is so Eric Zaitunian to say. Eric Zaitunian can be turned on in an instant. That is a superpower to go from Eric Zane to Eric Zaitunian. Sometimes you need Eric Zaitunian to get the word out on something legitimate. When I don't need to tell somebody to fuck off, I got to bring in Eric Zaitunian. He's going to do the heavy lifting on things. I'm going to go, oh, that's so kind. You're so kind. That's what he does. He is, when you need to tap into that resource, you got to pull that piece of shit out and put him in front of the camera to take care of the PR work. Tyler says, imagine this douche doing his own podcast. Boring. We need an asshole running the show. Tim says, LOL, a real Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Aram says, Zane doesn't need this guy promoting the podcast. Oh, my God. DD Train 24 says, who are these Zaitunians? Yes. Now, don't forget, our old pal Kenny, he wants a show with that fuck. Kenny's like, look, I don't want Eric Zane. I want Eric Zaitunian to tell me about the food drive and the cute puppy contest. Fuck, I couldn't even say the joke. Fucking shit. This is why at every turn we need to smack Kenny right in the nose. He wants a podcast with this prick. Oh, my God. That clap, well, that's so kind of you. Oh, my God. Jesus.
This, I know someone that might be wanting to pull up next Thursday. Where can they go and how can they do it?
Well, that's fantastic because that's been our biggest challenge Just getting the word out. You know, when the event starts at 3 p.m. on Thursday, there is a line of cars, 10 strong, but then it, thins out.
Sure.
So the point of being here, and thank God you're having us, it's so kind.
You can hear the clap. Why am I clapping?
Is to spread the word. Tell people to just get to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is right along 44th Street. Side street called Stafford. I'm sure you guys have all the information.
Yeah.
Be there at 3 p.m. and line up, and then we'll give the food away. We just have trouble giving it away. That's our biggest trouble.
That's a good problem. Well, we appreciate all
No, it's a bad problem. All right. Meanwhile, deep breath. There's a lot of skin underneath my chin. Look at that fat. And I'm round. I look like a former linebacker. I got my mom jeans on, my dad pants.
work you did.
I think I'm holding my breath there.
Real quick, if people want to listen to your podcast, do you have a website that they can go to?
Oh no! Now this is probably the only thing that is spectacular in this whole interview. He's asking me to promote the podcast.
Do for that?
I do, but I put a warning on it because it is not for sensitive ears, and I don't want to.
Look at this! What an asshole! Look at that! Oh no!
Oh, they can find it. Sure. Just search my name. That's all I'll say, because it's not great.
Okay, Eric. Sounds good. We'll get all the information for that drive, though, on our website, the great food giveaway on our website, fox17online.com. We appreciate, again, you coming in. And, again, love the sweater.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, 9:29 right now.
Oh, I hate myself. God. Promote the podcast. It's not that great. Ben says, this is my first time seeing this. Eric, you are hilarious. Well, that's not me. That's Eric Zaitunian. And to me, there's nothing funny about Eric Zaitunian. What's funny is the different person that is. Oh, my God. Megan says, it's not that great. Is that what you're going to tell the sponsors now? Well, yeah. Hey, my podcast it's all right. It's not that great. Ben says, both of your split personalities are funny. Is that better? Amanda says, I really love this. It's like, yes, I am this awesome person that's putting together this food giveaway, but when you listen to my podcast, I'm an absolute asshole. Lycon Rob says, Eric the PA guy versus Zane the podcaster. Megan says, do you sit up that straight when you poop? The comment about, I said we have a hard time giving the food away. And the guy said, yeah, good problem to have. And Tyler says, yeah, that's a good problem. That's a good problem, not being able to give away food and potentially going to waste. No, none of it goes to waste. Come on. Amanda says Eric Zaitunian is gay. Now, I can see that. There was a real gay vibe going on there. Sitting up straight, being a fucking asshole. I want you to know that reviewing that with you was the same type of uncomfortableness. I said nith. Uncomfortableness. Darla, what are you doing? That I get when I review shows on Who Are These Zanes. My God. Terrible. In case you're wondering what Darla is up to, that she did a little hip thrust there like she was humping O'Neill, but that's what she does to get comfortable. She actually crawls on top of her brother and falls asleep. It's a regular thing around here. Son of a bitch. Amanda says, clapping the hands, and you're so nice with googly eyes. I'm telling you, that's Eric Zaitunian. We hate that guy. All right, now Darla's starting to whine for some reason. I don't know why. I think the guy with the hoodie and the skull cap should have done the interview. What's the matter? Just go to sleep. I don't know if you can hear her. Well, that was quite an event. That was I was very thankful that they were able to bring me in. And Megan says that soon after we did that, people started to reach out to Irvine's asking like for details. You know, they want to make sure that everything is on the up and up so they can get there and get the food. So if you want to help out, look, outside of Mike Ball showing up, us boxing the food, which it's important to not have too many hands doing that. Mike's kind of like in charge of that. And then us putting it in the cars. We'll have the bodies, but we want more people there. I want it to be like absolutely almost a social event. Just being there, even if you don't lift a thing, is providing support. And there is, believe it or not, there is a theatrical element to this for those in need. And I want you to think about this. If you're a person who is driving up to get this food, you feel like fucking shit. You know, these are people that are not in great situations. Imagine they see all of these people waving at them, encouraging them, telling us telling them that we love them and Merry Christmas, everything's going to be okay. Them knowing that there is an armada of people that care about them is going to be fantastic. It'll still be great if there's 3 or 4 of us, but if there's 30, it's going to be even better. And you get to see the faces that are behind the names. Maybe you'll run into someone who you have always wanted to meet. So it's kind of like us to get together and do that. Then afterwards, we're going to go fill up the Beltline bar and have a good time there. Share a meal, if you will, which is not far from Irvine's. So, yeah, come on out and hang out. I mean, it's not like I get out much to see audience members. It's not like I'm doing a remote at the local casino or the shoe store or the fucking cell phone store. I remember when I was on the radio on WBBL. The last thing you want is to do a remote broadcast at a place that sucks. You want to go to a place that's like fucking cool, that the audience wants to go to in the first place. I'll never forget my very first remote broadcast. Now, the way these work is the place brings you in. You're there for 2 hours, 2 or 3 times an hour. You're saying, hey, come see me, Eric Zane. I'm broadcasting at the so-and-so, and come get your deep discounts on whatever the fuck. And I'm already an anxious pile of nerves because, 6 days into my new morning show, everything went to shit because of, a lot of reasons. So there I am, an anxious ball of energy, and they book me at, you ever seen these places that sell like workplace uniforms, like Cintas pants and shit like that? There's a store in Grand Rapids that sells pants. It's always about fucking pants with me. Pants for people who are like EMTs. People who are EMTs or paramedics, they wear a particular type of pants. What? You know, the type of pants that have lots of pockets and you can put shit in. They're called tactical pants. So EMTs buy their pants at this store. Talk about a very niche a place to have a remote. Why would you have a fucking remote at a place that sells tactical pants? Okay, Darla is having a shit fit here. Hang on. Every time I stop talking, she stops. Nick says, was it Nye uniform? That's where we get our shit. Yeah, I don't remember. I do not remember the name of it. And so I'm there. Yeah, come on down. And if you want to, if you're an EMT, come get your pants. Or if you've always wanted to dress like an EMT, this is where you get your pants. I'll be here for the next 2 hours, broadcasting live. It's the return of Eric Zane. What a return to the streets. Come get your tactical pants today. I don't know why she's doing that. Hold on. I have no idea. Okay, I think honey. So I'm standing there, and the only guy who showed up is Rick Jekyll. Rick Jekyll is a former Michigan football player who became like a homeless loser in the area. And he would show up drunk all the time to every event. And every time he looked more fucked up. He's the only guy that shows up. I'm like, well, thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. Poor guy died not that long ago. He actually was a former Michigan football player. It made the news when he died. I'm like, God damn it, Rick. Hold on a second. I got to get her. Come here. This dog is like a child. O'Neill definitely looks like he is not sleeping. How could he, with that going on in his ears? Yeah, this is a regular thing with her. She'll be like sitting in your lap, and she'll just start doing that, freaking out and whining like a baby. Well, she is a baby. She's a puppy baby. The face she makes is kind of makes her look like Honey Boo Boo. All right, so I'm going to keep her here till she falls asleep or whatever the hell. I'm sure you won't mind. Everybody loves Darla. Everybody loves my dogs. Come on. Tyler mentioned something, a fantastic comment. Let's see if I can get to it. A place that sucks for doing a live broadcast. Like a golf course at 6 a.m. Oh, no. One of the things about working at BBL, which, by the way, we are very close to our 5-year fireversary. The 5-year fireversary is January 4. Yeah, I don't know why, but they book a live broadcast at this golf course. Now, I get there. It's dark. I'm alone. Julius is back in the studio. Fucking terrible. And I have to do the show. I mean, I can do the show by myself now, no problem. But back then, it was something I wasn't used to. I'm alone looking at people mowing the grass. There's no one there. You know, this is probably on the same day Free Beer and Hot Wings are appearing in front of 50,000 people as usual. And I'm like, God damn it. I suck so much dick. It was always a harsh reminder that this is It was a very foreboding feeling. This is not going to work. I suck. Okay. And absolute pile of shit. And then the piece of equipment that we use to get the sound back to the radio station, it was like something you get out of a box of cereal. Really, really bad. And it sounded like fuck. And then the battery on it died. And then I'm off the air. I have no idea I'm off the air. I'm just talking into a microphone. And the signal isn't even going back to the radio station. And then, like, people are walking by, getting ready to tee off. And they're like, we can't hear you. You're not even on the air. And I'm like, and I had no idea. No one, like, would even call me. No one in the studio would call me to say, hey, you're off the air. They just said, fuck them. Holy shit. What an absolute travesty that was. Chris mentioned the Steel Cat appearance. All right. I'm glad you said that because I thought that one sucked too. Tyler says the VFW was interesting. That's right. Well, it was the American Legion. American Legion, the Fonger Post. That was the one. We might have been there twice. I don't know. Where we did a live show. And it was probably like 35 people. It was a disappointment. A lot of them were people that I can't stand now, like the Zaniacs. I had my dad there, though. Yes. The rich history of EZ. Live appearances. Okay, I'm going to go put her back on her brother because she seems to be appeased. And I think she's sleeping. It's like having a child. It really is. Okay. How about that for some parenting? I like when you had to show Ben who boring Dean was. Kenny says, O'Neill's like, why did you bring her back? O'Neill doesn't care. LMAO, the skinny girls. That has to be a reference to the funny girls. Oh, that was so bad. Oh, my God, was that terrible. Full disclosure, Erin Betka is her name. She, making sure they have water. They do. Erin had been on the show before. In fact, not that long ago on the Lost Zane recordings was the first appearance by the Funny Girls in the studio with us on the Eric Zane show on WBBL. And it was fine. I enjoyed it. So then at the live show, she showed up again. Jenny Garoni from the Celebration Cinema location. Every Friday they would come in and talk movies, like either Ron or Jenny would come in. And sometimes the Funny Girls would do events at Celebration Cinema, which is fine. I don't care if you bring her in. So Jenny brought Erin in, who, again, had been on my show. And so I could see that they were kind of like waiting to the side of the stage. And I'm like, oh, yeah, next segment is Jenny. And, I see she's got Erin. Well, that's cool. Erin's been on before. And no problem. Looks good. I mean, it was not an issue. She's been on the show with us. She's heard the show. She knows how it works. And she was funny. I thought she was funny enough that she was worth a segment. So, but I noticed she had a look in her eye like she's not happy. I went, and I ignored it. She gets on stage with me. She's right next to me. And Ben is there. And I don't remember the specifics. We were talking about something sexual in nature, and I asked her opinion. She said, well, I'm gay. So, and she wasn't really yes-anding. We could tell it was kind of what we were saying was bouncing off of her. So then Ben made a joke about a microphone being in her face, not unlike a penis. And that something to the effect of she might be repulsed by it because it's like a penis or something like that, some joke. And she was just, it fucked her up. And we didn't know that she was such a goddamn militant when it comes to shit like this. And here she is, a comic, and she got pissed off. And I forgot what she said, if it was fuck or shit or cock, but she intentionally swore to fuck up everything. So Lurch back in the studio, I think he missed the dump, and she said it more than once. She swore badly. And so, I was like, what the hell's going on there? So that segment ends. My phone's blowing up. It's my boss saying, what the hell's going on over there? Why is this happening? I don't know. And so I was confused. She left, and I didn't really think that much of it. I just thought she was just lost her mind. And so I said to Marcus, I go, what the fuck was up with her? And he was, I don't know. Maybe she was mad. I don't know. I go, well, either way, that's, I don't know what we did. I forgot about it. I completely forgot about it. Show finishes. No one says a word. No one cares. Uh-oh. And later on in the day, I get Jenny Garone says, I'm so sorry that this is all happening. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, Aaron Betka is killing you online. So I'm like, uh-oh. I look at the post. Sure enough, she is like, I have never been more, calling me a homophobe and all this shit and all this terrible stuff about me. So I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? So I didn't really think that there was too much of a problem because I mean it's her. It's not like she can fire me or anything. But I actually called her. And she said she was furious, and then we smoothed it over. And then the Zaniacs went to the Funny Girls page and started to say shitty stuff about her and giving her 0-star reviews on the Funny Girls public events page. And so she calls me and she goes, I thought we had an agreement that we were going to be friendly to each other. And I said, well, we do, and I didn't do that. She goes, and she accused me of putting them up to it. I go, no, I did not. In fact, I will call off the dogs. I will, and I made a public post saying, hey, please don't do that. And then I talked about it, and then that ended. So people stopped fucking with them, and then she agreed to take down the first post that got the ball rolling on this. And then she never took it down. Ever. So then, like, about a month after that, I had forgotten it. And I heard from through the grapevine that it's still up there. And I looked, and sure enough, it was still up there. So then I said, well, all right. I mean, fuck it. Now it's back on. Now I don't care. That was the end of it. Then I think I called her a bull dyke or something like that on the air. She called my boss. And they didn't care. And that was the end of it. Then she cut her tits off. I'm not kidding you. She actually is transgendered. And now it's weird because I'm like a huge ally and supporter of gay people and transgender people, as you all know. So there's going to come a time, like at this year's Pride Parade, I'm probably going to see that fucking asshole. And the thing is, now she's a dude. So I'm thinking about kicking her right in her fucking weird-looking dick. And there you go. I'm going to fucking light into you, you crazy fucking asshole. Equal rights, equal fights. Fuck you. That would be something. If it was we did like celebrity boxing between me and Aaron to settle the fucking score. You fucking asshole. That would be great. That would be a fantastic fight. How many people would love that? I don't know what is up with this dog today. Rick, always willing to shove it in my face, writes, quote, celebrity. Rick is kind of a bastard. You know that? He's like Eric Zane. Rick is going to join us in just a second here on the show. First off, though, and I'm using this mouse left-handed. Hang on. See, this is what happens when you have a child. I was thinking about this the other day. If there comes a day that Jackie and Justin ever has a baby, can you imagine if I agreed to watch my grandchild while I was doing the podcast so that for extended time I have to do this show while bottle feeding and shit like that? It's kind of how I feel right now with this dog. Anyway, thank you for enjoying the show on Facebook, X, and YouTube. It is time to send you on your way. If you want the rest of the show, it is on Twitch. You can download the Twitch app, search Eric Zane Live, and check it out there. Or just go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Check me out on Patreon. We've got a full slate of shows for you there, including yesterday's Who Are These Zanes? And the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, which was just a fantastic bit of fun. Thank you so much. I'm going to send you on your way.